Hey guys, Jordan here, and today I'd like to take a look at the Marvel Legends First Appearance Captain America. This figure is from the Brood Queen series. Came with a piece, I don't know which one, but it came with a piece to build the Brood Queen Build-A-Figure. I have the Series 1 Marvel Legends Captain America, which is pretty cool. Not the greatest, but still pretty cool. And I've heard that the Face-Off Captain America from Marvel Legends is the best Marvel Legends one to have. And honestly, the things I've heard about this figure are not so flattering. So real quick, just do a size comparison between this figure and the Series 1 Captain America. So you can see they're very similar in size. So really not much to talk about there, but I believe that overall I'm definitely a fan of the Series 1 Captain America, a little more than this first appearance cap, but I don't think this cap is as bad as a lot of people say it is. First off, I'd like to say there are things about the shield that I like and that I don't like. I feel like this shield could have been a lot better. Like, there's potential there, and I really want to like it because I like that original shape for it and everything, but they just kind of went cheap on it. It feels, I don't know, it feels cheap. I really liked on the Series 1 Captain America how his shield has this clip, and then you can also see bands underneath there, and that clip actually folds up and down so you can move it out of the way. So that's very cool. On this one, they just did a set plastic clip there, just jutting out. Just doesn't look as good. They did try and put in some little touches, like they have little rivet marks on the back of the shield here. So that's a nice little touch. But the paint on this one is real sloppy. It doesn't line up with the lines there. There are big gaps of white, like where the shield is actually molded, because the lines on the shield are actually molded in there along with the stars, and there are big gaps there. It's not as noticeable on camera, but you can still kind of see it. So that's really disappointing. This shield had a lot of potential, I think. They could have made it really, really cool. And I think just even better paint on it would have made it much, much better. But other than that, I do really like the face on this Captain America. I like how they molded his mask here. I think his mask looks pretty darn good. He's got the little wings on there. And this is just like the half mask, not the full mask that we're used to seeing today. And it really reminds me of like the Golden Age Captain America, especially with the face shape and everything. So I'm actually a big fan of that head sculpt for this figure. Like, it definitely looks more basic than a lot of the head sculpts for other figures and everything, but I am entirely okay with that since it's based off of a Golden Age figure, or Golden Age character, which it was more simplistic than he is today. Another thing I like about this figure is part of the sculpt. I really like these scales that they put on. Like, I really like when they add in that scale effect to armor and everything. It just makes characters look more protected. And one nice touch is on this hinge you can see on his shoulder there. They actually added in that texture there as well. So I think that looks great, and it's little touches like that that can really bring a figure together. And so for that part, I really, really like that. The sculpt for the rest, like as far as fabric goes, you know, the boots are folding over, they look pretty nice. Got the muscles in the legs, good muscle definition there. He's kind of got the wrinkly underpants look there, which is kind of funny to me. But yeah, it looks pretty good. The thing I do have a complaint with that everybody hates about this figure is the sculpt on his chest here and the way it hinges. It's almost like the DC Universe Classics chest hinge here, where he bends at the waist. But he's real round here, where it comes in. You can see the stripes all converging right here. And it's just not a natural body shape. It just looks really, really weird. And yeah, I can compare it here. You see, it's more, even in the Series 1 where they were still working on body molds, like, you can see the difference where he's kind of got, like, the underarm fat on this first appearance Captain America, whereas this guy just has more of the exaggerated muscle. So, definitely not a fan of that. I'd say that's the biggest drawback on this figure. As far as paint goes, like I said, with the shield, paint could have been better, like, all around. Much like how the shield has problems with the stripes, the red and white stripes, so does he along here. There are some gaps that are noticeable. And then the way they converge on his roundness here, that just doesn't look good. The way it curves in makes the lines get messed up, and then they're sticking at weird angles, and it just doesn't look good on this figure. And the red and white, the way they did it, I don't know. It looks cheap to me. I just... That might just be being nitpicky, but it feels like a cheap figure just based off of that. The belt is done fairly well. I like that they added in the belt. Just the gold buckle there with a little bit of paint app. A little messed up paint app over here. But generally just a decent belt. Nothing special. He's got the belt loops going around that you can see. And then it's all real flat colors. There's no shading on this figure whatsoever. And in some of the hinges, I don't know if it's just my figure, but you can see other colors bleeding through. You can actually, it's more obvious in person, but you can see red coming through on this hinge quite clearly. But yeah, it's just those little details they didn't do very well on this figure. And I think what's most upsetting about this is this figure has so much potential. It could be really, really cool, but it feels like they just took shortcuts making it that kind of sucked all of that away. Articulation is standard Marvel Legends articulation. You got the head, rotate 360, can move up and down a little bit. The hinge on the shoulder is actually very loose, so you can go up very far and down. You can rotate it, the 360. And he's got 360 at the bicep, the double hinge elbow, which is nice. And then he rotates at the wrist, 360, and it can move in and out. And then he's got that almost DC-UC chest crunch there. And he's got 360 at the waist. He's got the hinge at the legs, so for up and down, and you can spin them around 360. You got the double jointed knees here. And then he's got almost like a little ball joint at the bottom of his ankle, connecting the boot and the foot here. And so that has a hinge on it, so you can move the foot up and down. And you can also rotate it 360 there. So that's kind of a weird little joint. I don't think I've seen that kind of joint, kind of ankle joint on any other figures. So that's kind of cool. It works well, which I like. And there's really no side to side. If they had added some more side to side movement in on that ankle joint, I think that would be a really cool joint. But other than that, I'd say, I don't know, this is an okay figure. I don't think it's the worst figure ever or anything. I like it still. Like, I'm going to hang on to mine because I do like Captain America, and I still, like, from a distance, I still like this figure just on display, just as an early example of Captain America and how he used to look. But if you aren't a big Captain America fan, or if you really like the nicer figures, then this probably isn't the one for you. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed my review on the Brood Queen series first appearance Captain America, and please comment, rate, and subscribe.